Hello everyone. This is a story which made me think a lot. The name of the story is The Past. In Hindi, we call it Bhutkal. Okay. Now, this is a story of a conversation which a 13-year-old boy had with his father. One day, when the father was in a rush to leave for his office, suddenly the child came. He was also going to a school, but he came and said, Daddy, one thing keeps on troubling me a lot. Can I ask you one question? Daddy said, please ask quickly. I have to leave for my office. He said, Daddy, I wonder, see, in English, what do we say? We say present. That means it's a gift. We say future. It means something which is going to happen. And then we say the past. It sounds okay. But why in our language we called it the bhoot? So he said, what kind of a question is this? It is called bhoot. Vartaman, Bhavish. He said, Vartaman and Bhavish, all that is fine. But why do we call it bhoot? So he said, what is your objection to that? He said, Daddy, from my childhood, whenever we wanted to, scare our friends or do something which is not actually good, we would say, wow, there is a bhoot over there. That means a ghost. And what does this word immediately conjure in our mind? It brings up all kinds of, ugly forms, things that we do not want, something which is not good. And when we think of bhoot, it means some idea which is, clogged our mind and is not allowing us to do good things, right things, to do the correct things. And it is full of so many things that we really don't want. And why do we always say bhoot like that? I don't know. I feel very, very awkward about this word. Can you explain, Daddy? What does it mean? Father was perplexed. He said, what kind of a question is this? But he said, no, Daddy, I want an answer. I know you're an intelligent father and you can give answer to everything. So I want an answer. The father said, okay, right now I'm leaving for my office. And when I come back, when we sit down for our dinner, we'll have a good discussion on that. You also go ahead and come back from school and then we will see. Child said, okay, fine, that's fine. And then the whole day, the father kept on wondering that, he has asked a question, but what does this bhoot, does it signify anything? And when he was thinking about this, suddenly from his childhood, he could see the serials which he had watched or the books, stories that he had read about Vikram or Betal, and that Betal was nothing but a kind of a ghost who would come and sit on the shoulders of Vikramaditya and ask whatever question was there in his mind, asking for answers, and he would not leave him till he got the answer. And Vikramaditya had to go on and on carrying a heavy load on his shoulder and trying to find an answer and give him. And when he would give the answer, it would just disappear. But not for long. Again, he would come and sit on his shoulder and make him feel so heavy and, would not allow him to do anything else that he wanted to do and make him feel so bogged down and clogged that he had to go on thinking about that and that alone and try to find an answer. So then the father thought, but why did this flash in my mind? What is it trying to tell? And then he realized that, my God, what a question my son has asked. So really, if we look at ourselves as common human beings, what do? Whole day, if you see, most of the time, our mind, which is always full of thoughts, keeps thinking about what happened in the past, what went wrong, how I was ill-treated by others, and how things did not fall in the right place, and stuff like that. And what is the power of those thoughts? They actually act like that Vetal, that bhoot. They sit on our head in such a big way that, what do we say? Oh, I'm carrying such heavy thoughts. I can't even walk with a, spring in my stride. And we walk with our maybe shoulders stooping, head held down. And if anybody speaks to us, we are so irritated, we give back a reply which upsets that other person also. And what exactly are we doing? The thoughts of those past events which have happened in our life have bogged us down so much, and maybe they are just like that bhoot which is of no use. But yes, they are there. We cannot just say go away and they will go away. So he thought that, yeah, we need to have a discussion on this. So that evening when he came back, his son was really eager to know what his father had thought. So they both sat down for dinner. And the father asked him, but first you answer one question. Whole day, what are the thoughts which keep playing on your mind most of the time? He said, Daddy, I can't even focus when I'm doing my homework, because you know what? Maybe I've come back from a football match with my friends in the school, and I found that, it was so wrong the way that friend behaved with me. And, it was so wrong that the teacher unnecessarily scolded me. And that time, mommy also didn't give me the thing which I really needed. So, all these things which have happened and which have upset me, they keep playing on my mind. And as a result, the homework which I could have finished in half an hour, I end up spending 1 hour getting more scolding from parents. Y'all or the teacher also scolds that this work is not done properly, and I get into fights because of something which somebody had done with me long back. These are the things which keep on playing in my mind. I'm telling you honestly, Dad. He said, see, you gave your own answer. He said, what do you mean by that? He said, see, this is why it is called bhoot, the past, which it is over, it is done with, but it has the power because we are giving it our mind space to control us and to make us do things we are in the present, right? Present is a gift which can be used in the right way, which will lay the foundation for our future. But what are we doing? We are constantly thinking that, oh, that thing went wrong, so and so did this, that happened, if that happened that way, how can it be good this time? Do I really want to try? And our whole time is gone. Our food does not get digested. We can't sleep well. We cannot be, cheerful companions to our friends. We are full of complaints in our head. We may not even say them out loud, but that is exactly how each one of us behaves. We are grown-ups. We are doing the same thing with our circumstances. You are a kid. You are doing the same thing, thinking about your football match, the teacher scolding, the fights with your friends. Just the name is changing, but the theme remains the same. That is why we can say that these thoughts of the past are behaving like bhoot, which is just troubling us. So he said, then Daddy, we are so helpless. We can't do anything. He said, no, not at all. We can do a lot. If we train ourselves to observe our own thoughts and to always be vigilant and ask ourselves that, yes, true, these things were wrong and I didn't like it. Suppose I was to get a chance today, how would I handle it? And if even your mind gives you a solution that why don't you try, already, you have moved to a better zone in your mind, and the bhoot starts becoming a little bit helpless because you have decided that, okay, you came here to teach me a lesson. I learned the lesson, but I'm not going to give you so much importance that you occupy my mind and I keep on thinking about that and that alone. That is not what I am going to do. So that is a, decision which we need to take for ourselves. No amount of counseling is going to help. Because suppose you're my child, I keep on telling you, don't do this. You say, okay, it's so easy for you to say. But in your mind, you're still, or in the end, you say, okay, Daddy, I will listen to you. But in your mind, have you really decided to bring a change? So, that's the present. That's the gift we have got from the universe, that you have the power to say, get lost. These thoughts were of the past because own up, honestly. Does life always have only bad things? In that phase, when you face that, were there not so many good things also which happen, like going for trips, going for your shopping, eating good food, having a great time with friends? Each one of us does that also. But why can't we just choose those selective thoughts, try to relive those things which were so nice and feel good about it? And then when we feel all cheerful and fresh and full of energy, and that time when we apply ourselves to the work which needs to be done now, we will automatically make some progress and lay a proper foundation for the future. So do you think that is so difficult? The child said, no, Daddy, I think it is possible. But do you mean, Daddy, that just because I'm thinking of the good things that happened and not about the bad things that happened, it will make a difference? Then the father explained that, see, I'll explain to you one simple thing. There is something called the law of attraction. We all are governed by the law of attraction. What does that mean? It means our thoughts have the power to attract those kinds of things which we keep on and on thinking about throughout the day or most of the times in the day. Envy, jealousy towards others' progress, why the person was treated in a different way, why I was not treated, why did my work not get this much, what I should have got, why does he always get more. If that and why is all that we are focusing on, the law of attraction makes it happen that way, that we get more circumstances in our life so that our list of whys can go on and on and on. So it's a simple science, my child, the father explained. But you know what? He said, today you have made me to think. I know all these things as your father. I have read a lot. I understand. But how many times do I really apply it in my life? You've made me to think. So they said, let us make a pact. So every day we'll find a time when we'll sit together, and you will have to tell me of the good times that you remember when you had fun. Life was so nice and much better than maybe so many people who do not have the opportunities which maybe you have. I will share what are the good memories that I have from my childhood, from my growing up years, and today when I'm at this post, when I'm taking care of all. So if we make it a point to sit down and talk about those things, you know what we will do? We will fill our house with a lot of positivity, and law of attraction will be forced to help us to attract much better things in life. And whenever we are doing some work, we will say, I have no time to think about things which are already over. They cannot be brought back now. These circumstances are different. I have grown. I am more intelligent now. I have different skill sets. So what happened then is not applicable now. So I don't care to care for that booth which is just controlling my thoughts and making me do all wrong things. Or wrong things means wasting your time. Time is that biggest present which we have got, the gift which we cannot get back again. Time once gone is gone. So when all other things are working for you, why give so much importance to that booth in the form of thoughts which are controlling us? The child got his answer. The father felt so light and nice that, see, a simple question which was troubling the child, because I have got such a good rapport with my son, that he had the courage to come and say, Daddy, I want an answer to this. You may feel it is irrelevant, but this thought is troubling me. So see, the rapport which I have helped him to ask me the question. And because of his simple, innocent question, so many things became clear in my life or in my thought process. They both hugged each other and they felt very nice. The story ends here. They made a change in their lives. That's what I have read. Friends, what does this story say to you? Is it really something very far-fetched? It is a concept which is good as a lecture? I feel it's not like that. It makes a lot of sense to me. And after reading this story, I have made it a point that whenever things really start troubling me, things which have happened in the past, I ask myself, so many good things happened in the past. They have changed. So even that has changed. If nothing is permanent, as they say, change is the only constant. So maybe now what I do will make a difference in my life further. And that puts me in a good mood. This we can do with others also. Our juniors, our friends, our family members, when they start talking about their problems, rather than adding a little more, saying a few more stories that, oh, this is nothing, what happened to me, and going back to our past and talking of things which had really upset us, we'll upset that person and upset us also. So what can we do? We can just say, fine, that is past, that is over. Today, what is it that we can do so that, our life makes more sense? That way, you will be known as a very positive person. Whoever sits near you feels the happiness of being in your presence, and you will attract better people in your life. And people who create problems will find you so boring that they will not like to come near you, and they will automatically get removed. So this is what I learned. You could learn something more, something less, or it may not make sense to you. It's up to you. Your thought process is yours. What you choose to focus on is totally your prerogative. This is what I learned. You let us know what you learned if you learned something. For that, what do you need to do? You really, really need to listen to this story carefully and then adapt whatever you feel needs to be adapted. Make the changes which might make a difference in your life. Implement those changes. Just knowing is not enough, Become more organized as far as your thoughts are concerned, which nobody else can see. Only you can enter that world and understand what is going on in your mind. Take stock of that and be kind to yourself. You will be able to love yourself more. You'll be able to appreciate what life has really offered you, and those happy stories and things, how things change because of your proactive way of behaving, your constructive thoughts helped you. If you shared those with your juniors, with your friends, you will make a difference in their life. And that's all that we can do. So this is what I learned. I hope you will also listen and do something about it. So for that, please don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Thank you.